it's Matt. I'm a school-based occupational therapist, and I'm sharing with you some strategies that relate to some common issues that teachers bring up to me as a school-based OT. And I'd like to share some strategies for what to do if your student has difficulty holding a crayon or a writing implement like a pencil correctly. So the short answer to that is to use some sort of commercial pencil grip. I don't often give out a lot of pencil grips in my school-based practice. I find that kids often lose them, and it becomes a sort of a novelty at first, but I found that I was just giving them out constantly, and I just could not keep up with kids losing them. So I'd like to give you some strategies that don't involve pencil grip. So some things you can do if you don't have access to a pencil grip, or if your student loses them frequently. So one of the simplest things you can do is to give your child a very small writing or coloring implement. So something like a crayon or a pencil that's very small, even an inch or an inch and a half long, is going to force your student to use their fingertips to manipulate the tool. Often kids who hold their pencils incorrectly will try to get all their fingers on the pencil shaft in some combination. So often the problem is they're trying to get too many fingers up there on the tool. And this sort of eliminates the ability to do that. So it sort of limits the number of fingers you can get on the tool, and often will make a big difference. Another thing that you could do is to give the child something to hold on to in their hand while they're using their pencil. So something like a bead or a small pom-pom, a cotton ball, or even just a piece of crayon. So what you would do is you would have the child assume a more mature pencil grip using 3 fingers, and then what you would do is you would place that small item inside the child's palm, and you would have them use their their pinky finger and their ring finger to hold on to that item within the hand at the same time holding the pencil. So it sort of keeps those 2 extra fingers busy while the fingers that are supposed to be holding the pencil are doing their job. Some kids really take to that. For some kids it's just a little too complicated for them to manage all of that at the same time. It's just something you might want to try with your kids. So that's another strategy. Another thing that you can do, for some kids, they hold the pencil too high on the shaft of the pencil. They'll hold it in the middle or even near the top of the pencil, and you really want to try to encourage them to hold the pencil where the wood meets the paint. Often just verbally telling them that will help. Sometimes you might want to give them some sort of visual marker on the pencil to help cue that. So either wrapping an elastic band around the bottom of the pencil or putting a piece of tape so that it cues that this is where you're going to hold the pencil, right at the bottom where the paint meets the wood. That also helps. Something else that you might try if your student is not holding their pencil or their crayon correctly is to have whatever they're writing or coloring on a more vertical surface. So you can either use a slant board, turn a large binder sideways and use it sort of as a makeshift slant board, or even tape the paper to a door or a more vertical surface if you have a free spot on a bookshelf or on the wall. And sometimes having that paper on a more vertical surface will promote a more mature grasp. So that's another thing that you can also try. So hopefully one or more of those strategies will be helpful to you. And if you have any other strategies, throw them in the comments below.